Hello to all my beautiful purple roses. Let me fix this. Okay, I'm back, y'all. This is part two, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've I'm sorry. I sat here and told my story, my little um situation. And you know what? I had to correct myself, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I presented that story like it's as if it was a problem. Sorry. I presented that story like it was a problem. Who I presented that story like I had all these issues. And that's a lesson in itself for me, for anybody who's watching, to all my beautiful purple roses. Guess what? I said I prayed for a move. I needed to relocate. I prayed for a job. I prayed for a certain amount of income. I prayed for a specific schedule. I prayed for provision to move. I prayed for all of these things. And I know y'all think I'm crazy because I'm sitting here laughing, but I have to share this. And I'm worried about this one little thing that didn't go my way. Lord, I prayed for all of that, and God gave it to me. God blessed me with those things. God made a way. I presented a prayer to Him, and He made a way. And I have to do part two because when I tell you in the previous video that I prayed and I fasted and I asked God to clarify, am I supposed to be making this decision? Was this um, connection the right connection? When I tell you, God gave me several green lights, and not only did He give me green lights, but He also, anything else I had in the works, when I tell you it disintegrated into nothing. It disintegrated. Like God was like, that's not it, but this is. And I'm going to show you because everything you thought was going to happen, that luxury apartment, um, how this job was going to turn out, everything you thought was going to happen, it literally just stopped. Everything, and I don't want to say it went wrong, but it went exactly how it was supposed to go. So I asked God to forgive me because I sat there. I sat there on the last video and I said all these things like, yeah, I don't know what happened and it didn't go my way. It went exactly how it was supposed to go. Now, granted, I will say this, I'm not perfect, and I probably have stepped out of alignment with some instructions that God gave me. And as a result, especially if you're dealing with another person or other people are involved, you may not know what God is telling them to do, and you may not know why, or God could be telling them to do something and they may be afraid to take those steps, so they run away from it. Regardless of what it is, that's neither here or there. I prayed, let me tell you, I prayed for the house, I prayed for the job, I prayed for the financial provision. I prayed for the income. I prayed for all these things, and God granted it. And He said yes. He said yes. So for me, I can't even be discouraged of what didn't take place or what seems to be, and I'm going to say seems to be, a situation where another door or door has closed that I really wanted to be open. God said, maybe I got something bigger for you because all these things you prayed for, Jessica, I gave it to you. And so, my encouragement on part two is to continue to be faithful in your prayers and continue to know who God is and don't waver in your faith because He is doing a new thing in your life. And if you sit there and think about all of the things that He has done, if you sit there and think about all of the times that He has saved you and kept you and has just provided for you and made a way, and it's on different levels, sometimes making a way for someone could be just making sure they eat that day, or making a way for someone is just making sure that they just keep their head above water just enough to survive so that they can get to the blessing. Or it can be um just an inheritance of a lot of money. It can be marriage. It can be connections in church and starting a ministry. It could be moving and God providing it, but He's going to provide. He is going to give you exactly what you prayed for. Maybe not exactly how you thought it was going to be. It's probably not who you thought it was going to be. It may not be what you thought it was going to look like, but just know that sometimes you don't see the other side of things, where something looks good and it it may not even be all that good. So if God has concluded some things in your life, just like He concluded the luxury apartment in Atlanta, just like He concluded the previous job, just like He concluded all of that, He did it because was granting me what I prayed for. And what I prayed for wasn't where I was. It wasn't in Atlanta. It wasn't in nowhere near that. What I prayed for was not in that location. The peace that I prayed for wasn't there. He allowed all of that to disintegrate into dust so that I could have exactly what I prayed for me and my children, and it was according to His will. Things that did not add sorrow, even if it seemed like it added sorrow, really didn't. So I just I wanted to sit here and go to sleep. I really wanted to go to sleep, y'all, but I had to come back to give my purple roses some encouragement that, you really have to look at it. Life is really about perspective, and understand that God has a bigger plan, and understand when He says no, it's because He's got something way better and you deserve it. Okay? So be blessed, and don't discount and devalue what God is doing in your life, cuz I had like I said, I had to come back on here because I felt like my last video was just kind of saying, oh, I didn't get this, and I prayed for it, but it didn't happen. But I had to sit here and think about all God did. Look, He did it, okay? He did it. He did it. When I tell you, I have never experienced God move the way that He did in this move to a whole nother city. He did it. And I don't take it for granted. And I know He's doing way more. And I know He's already done it. And I receive it. And I'm just praying that you all, whoever is waiting on whatever they're waiting for, that they receive exactly what they prayed for. And if you pray for something and you feel like maybe you messed up what you prayed for, it's there. You just have to allow God to move on your behalf and be obedient. So, um, just continue to grow and just take this as encouragement and part of my little testimony, but really just to glorify God and all the things that He is doing. He is still doing it, y'all. Okay. Love you. Be blessed. Bye bye.